What's up, everybody? This is Wong, and we're back with a fighting game video, but this time we're not playing. We're talking about, something that is pretty, I would say, controversial. A lot of people are currently upset, and yes, I did make a video about the Capcom Fighting Collection, and I'm super excited about it, and I still am. But I did not know, and I didn't check that when you go to online rank, like the rules, right? Because now I would think nobody would have the game yet. They put CVS2, the standard for online rank is EO standard. So if you guys want me to, well, if you want to talk about this and my thoughts about it and see why everyone's upset, like, share, subscribe, turn on the bell's notification, and yeah, let's get into the video and talk about it. You know what I mean? So this is shout out to Tyrant UK. He made a video. He had the review as well, and he checked out. Look at this.
I also checked the rank mode rules for this game, and it looks like the EO version is the standard that's going to be.
So this version is EO version standard. So when you're playing rank match, it's EO version standard. You can play pretty much the arcade one, the standard version, the non EO version, like lobbies or casual matches. But when it comes to rank, it's EO version standard. And this is actually very disappointing because obviously when you watch my Marvel 2 videos and other people's Marvel 2 videos, rank was so poppin', and it's like first to 10 matches and everything like that, and the leaderboard, stuff like that's really like fun to do, right? I think it's crazy because this is not the first time that Capcom has done something like that where they chose such a different port. Because remember, I complained on social about how X-Men versus Street Fighter, the rank for that one is version 3, the aka pretty much like all the busted infinites are just kind of gone, even though version 1 busted infinites, people love that game. So crazy part about this in general is that Capcom, they already made a patch recently. If you guys probably seen the Marvel 2 collection patch where they gave like HD, and they gave versions X-Men vs. Street Fighter version 1 and version 2, you are able to select them online, but it's not ranked version 1. It's still version 3 rank, but you're able to pick version 1 and version 2 in casual matches and lobbies and everything like that. So they tried, but the thing is, they didn't really fix everything. So CVS2 is the current situation where it's probably going to be the main game for the Capcom Fighting Collection. What is the difference between EO standard and the standard version? So EO rank or EO CVS2, there's no roll cancel. Obviously, if you guys know what roll cancel is, it's pretty much you're making your special move super invincible, and it goes through a lot of attacks, fireballs, and everything like that. You can pretty much make every special move a invincible DP. So a lot of it in terms of the meta, roll cancel is used a lot, and people probably think this is game breaking. And yeah, I mean, I can see why people think it's game breaking. Fun rumor fact, I was told that when CVS2 was in the QA state, like long time ago, like some of the QA testers found roll canceling and they did not report it. They just let it rock. I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't use roll cancel, and I use a C groove that has roll. I just don't like roll cancel personally. So some people get roll cancel happy, and they get very predictable on when they roll cancel, and they make it easier for them to beat. Personally, if there was no roll cancel, this is the standard going into the CFC Collection 2. Rank is just going to be a lot of K groove. K groove is pretty scrubby, and you thought modern fighting games were like super scrubby and everything like that. K groove is like up there. K groove is definitely super strong like that. So I would rather fight roll cancel instead of K groove any day, because like the only way for you to counter K groove, this is how I used to do in tournament, and when I didn't roll cancel, I'm forced to pick A groove. I've seen people talk about like, oh no, you hardcore CVS2 players, you're gatekeeping the EO players because you want to use your roll cancels. Characters are in CVS2 are so viable, and a lot of characters do so well against other top tiers because roll cancel exists. So that's kind of why I like roll cancel. I'm defending roll cancel. I want to see like what's his take. CVS2's EO for rank, because he's really big into CVS2 in general, right?
They didn't have online for the original. If I guarantee you, everybody was playing Xbox EO online.
He mentions the Xbox, right, version, original Xbox, and they had CVS2 online. That shit was so good. It was so fun because it was kind of like our first taste of online fighting game, right? And it's delay based, obviously obviously rollback is the But it's like it's our first time experiencing it, and I played it every week. I went over to my friend's house every week. I fought so many players CVS2 online, so I really think Capcom, the reason why they went with EO version standard, they probably used the data from the Xbox possibly. But the thing is, if CVS2 standard was the original Xbox, it would be the same amount of numbers no matter what. It was just the time was so revolutionary that it's like, oh, online fighting games, you know what I mean? That was like kind of like the first. CVS2 EO version standard was like so hot for CVS2. So I guess I could see why they're doing it.
Currently, what is the EO rank makes no sense because it's not for casuals, because casuals don't care.
EO version standard on Xbox, you were able to play EX Groove 1 and EX Groove 2 online. So people were being cheesy, you know what I mean? Get the chain combos, do mad damage, you know, you're combining grooves together, right? And everything like that. You could pick the secret characters like Shin Rugao, Shin Akuma, or I guess Omega Rugao, Shin Akuma, Orochimaru, Evil Ryu. And, you know, I personally hope if they do go back to standard version. Besides the point, EO version standard is pretty much for casuals, I would say. I think, because at least for the Xbox version, it definitely was with the EX1 and EX2 groove. And then P-Groove got buffed. I personally enjoyed the P-Groove buff where you're able to super cancel your specials in the supers. I feel like casual players like playing P-Groove because parry.
That when they saw the collection, went, oh, it's going to be ranked of arcade. There's going to be RC. I'm not going to play it. Now that it's EO is going, yes, I will buy it now. No one is saying that. I guarantee you there is no player who saw CVS2 in the collection and thought, oh no, roll cancels. My life is ruined. I'm not playing that.
I tell you, S-Groove players, P-Groove players, K-Groove players, they are saying that, bro. Silent Scope, they are saying that. I already seen Dr. B talk about how, oh, nah, man, this is fair. Roll cancel is broken anyway. He plays S-Groove. You don't have a role. You know what I mean? That's bias. You could tell that's bias.
If you saw EO originally and thought that arcade was still the main one, you were buying it no matter what, right? You were buying it because it had EO. It's like, oh, I could play it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And let's be clear. I was probably going to touch EO a little bit anyways. We were going to do like online EO P-Groove tournaments, you know, just like.
So I personally think, you know, Silent Scope is, you know, because he's a guy that's been really pushing the CVS2 scene like hard. Like I feel like when it comes to CVS2 content creation, he is the best at it. And I could see why he's upset. And I agree with him why he's upset. You know, I feel bad because, like I said, he's been pushing that hard. Like,
if you guys have some examples of CVS2 specifically being played without RC, if you all are out there and if you have like links to those tournaments and stuff,
I'm sure there's a lot of tournaments in Japan where they ban RC and like see what happens. And normally, most of the time, K Group just dominates everything.
Why that game being that way is important. There's a thing that's happening, chat, with CVS2. Effectively, a newer, updated version of the game is going to be the version that is like the default for that you play online.
If the Tekken community could change the developer's mind to make a patch to fix everything that they messed up with the offense and everything, maybe the CVS2 community, even though we're way smaller than the Tekken 8 community, we can do it. Especially with like, you know, Max's help, because he's like one of the guys that pushes like retro fighting games super hard, and he was already super happy about the Marvel collection getting an update. So now obviously having the CVS2 collection is so hype as well too. So seeing him talking about this is pretty darn amazing.
It's weird to me that they're releasing a new collection that is forcing everyone to play a version of the game that historically has not been played that much.
See, yeah, but the thing is, it's not for rank though. So because it's not for rank, it's kind of the same thing as CVS2. Yeah, you can still play the standard CVS2 in casual matches in lobby. That's probably what Capcom is going to say, right? Because there's no way they're going to give you 3 different leaderboards. And so look, Gunter from Japan, also a top CVS2, you know, hardcore CVS2 player. You had it right the first time. The no RC/no K tournaments were at Versus run by Gonta. Suga ran one no RC tournaments at Mikado a few months ago. When the collection was announced, all regular tournaments allow RCs. RCs are as natural as blocking. They save the game. This is true. I 100% believe that RC it's good for the game. You know, sometimes glitches are just really good for the game. That's what it comes down to. So this is Saber Easy. He's also OG head. Maximilian is 100% right. At the end of the day, only the hardcore players are going to stick around after the first week. The other 95% of consumers won't even notice the difference. Capcom USA shall ultimately just cater to the competitive players in this regard. No one losers. So strong. You can't really say that because, like, if you look at Marvel 2 now, now, there's probably way less casual players. But Marvel 2, I feel like a lot of the casual players was playing for a long time, putting in hours, playing like, random low tier teams and everything like that. And, even though they get dunked on like people that play top tiers only, I still run into like, them when I jump online and I'm playing my low tier. So it's like really cool. I think CVS2 kind of be similar. Like, I don't think like CVS2 is not as like aggressive like Marvel 2, where top tiers are just going to be so dominant. Like, even though with the EO version standard, like Sagat, Blanca, Cammy is going to be super strong, but it's hard to see that you're going to die fast and you're going to be like, damn, I can't do anything. I think it's maybe because most people just don't use roll cancel, and maybe Capcom thinks, oh, you're going to discourage all these casual players just getting roll cancel to death all day. Not everyone's going to really be like that. Like, at least I don't really roll cancel at all, but I just think like if I want to play some sweaty matches or make some content, well, this is the nail in the coffin. Now I get to go to bed angry. They added the EO note today, by the way. How crazy that they're running this off an arcade ROM, but EO is rank. I just can't right now. So he said they added this today. So this was not there before. So somebody was probably in Capcom was under the same assumption that the standard arcade version would be rank, but I guess not. Then Windy Man, also another CVS2 guy, this is completely unjustifiable. These are supposed to be the arcade games in the arcade collection. And now we're getting rug pulled with the non-arcade version for ranked matches online. There's so many things wrong with this and I cannot even begin to explain. I totally get it. I would love to play, like I said, I would love to play CVS2. Okay, this is Boss. This is the greatest player in the world. The ranking is currently only for the EO version, which hardly anyone is playing. So everyone has a chance to take first place. Well, at the very least, you can play the regular version in custom mode, so that's fine. Since the response has been bigger than expected, I'm hoping they'll add version selection like today's X Store update. Yeah, he obviously wants rank because he probably wants to be #1 ranked player. I personally would love to just see him just dominate some CVS2. Now this guy right here, this one's interesting. Capcom, this is actually a person that's like saying he likes EO. Capcom does not like exploits in ranked games. The CVS2 community has gatekept EO for a long time. It's time to let others get a chance to experience what the developers truly intended. Some people don't want to RC, yet alone have to deal with it in rank. See, now this is kind of like something I can see what he's saying, because he probably has been in a situation where like, man, RC just me up and I just can't stand it. And maybe he's a P groove player, maybe he's a S groove player, maybe he's a K groove player. I actually don't know, but if he's one of those three, then you know what? I feel like that's told you guys, that's bias. So now, obviously, Silent Scope, like, he's on it, bro. He's replying. RC is not an exploit, just like Unblockables and Marvel are not an exploit. I guess Unblockables and Guard Breaks. CVS2 community has not gatekept EO. There has been no desire from enough people to run EO. Anyone could have brought setups and events in the last 25 years. Anyone could have run Dolphin events online. Nada. RCs divided the community from the game's birth and oversight that devs didn't think people would do. They were never in the previous game, but taken out in EO. Action speaks louder than words. People didn't run EO tournaments because the gatekeepers didn't give EO. Bro, what is he saying? Gatekeepers? Who is gatekeeping? Who is gatekeeping? If you want to run an EO tournament, then you run an EO tournament and then see what happens. He said, well, when the next compilation comes out with Third Strike, they better use the version that takes away Yuri and Oro Unblockables. I mean, it is the latest version, and the reason no one plays that version is because it was gatekept. Says the guy who wasn't even... Yo, he is angry. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, he's so angry. Oh, he went overboard with the last response. Yeah, he was... Yeah, but there's no way EO was gatekept. I personally don't think EO was gatekept at all. Just in general, it really becomes a situation where it's like, I guess roll cancel, maybe they wanted to patch roll cancel out. I mean, there was a reason why they made EO version standard, because they did not like roll cancel, right? They don't like roll cancel. That's what it comes down to, right? But the thing is it really is good for the game, like, because there's so much more variety with roll cancel. Because if you have roll cancel, you can obviously play C groove, you can play A groove, and you can play N groove. Imagine if there's no roll cancel, people will not play N groove at all. Actually become possibly the worst groove in the game because there's no roll cancel. And N groove is such a fun groove in general. But the thing is, like, you'll have K groove just go to town. When you play S groove, guys, he does a spot dodge into an attack. The spot dodge into attack is practically invincible. You have to grab it or block it. Guess what that sounds like? That sounds like roll cancel. How do you beat roll cancel? You either grab it or block it on startup. S-groove, spot dodge, attack is the same thing. I personally would love CVS2 to go back to standard just because like I would rather fight roll cancel than K-groove non-stop any day of the week. At least there will be variety on different grooves, right? At least there will be variety on characters, because imagine you don't have roll cancel and you're playing Yun. Yun needs roll cancel to be somewhat decent. Yun needs it. So if you're saying there's no Yun like at all, so I personally think like if Capcom can do something where they can just possibly make a decision where they change it to bring literally standard arcade ROM as the main one, I personally would appreciate that a lot, and I'm pretty sure every other hardcore CVS2 player would appreciate that a lot. And it's kind of hard. It's really kind of hard. I actually, long time ago, before the Marvel Collection came out, and I saw that X-Men Street Fighter was version 3 for rank match, I messaged the developers, right? And I was like, hey man, like I don't think version 3 is the good one. You know, I think version 1, and they just like pretty much didn't give me like a solid answer. They just like gave me an emoji. Gave me an emoji, and I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I can't really push it afterwards because it's like I don't work for Capcom. So I don't really have a say. I could just only have a word of mouth and just tell people how I feel, and hopefully people are on my side. But yeah, I think if you guys are also in the situation, I'm curious what you guys in the comments, do you guys like arcade version of CVS2 and how the current meta is being played? Or are you kind of like the EO version, the standard stands, and you want this version to be your online rank? Because I'm telling you guys, and when you play rank and you get to like the level of like diamond going to master, right, or even plat, you're just gonna see K-groove non-stop. You know that's cheap, and you know the only thing that can really beat you or even it out is roll cancel. Because even in Japan, like even though boss wins all the tournaments, he still loses sometimes, and he's gonna lose to either A groove or K groove. It's between one of the two groups, right? So like the fact that even he's like one of the masters, the best in roll canceling, he's still losing the K groove as well too, just because the damage and the effort of getting 2 level 3s possibly per round minimum. That's kind of crazy, right? You know what I mean? Roll cancel, if you get hit by roll cancel, it just does like what, 5% of your health, and then you know like you're back in neutral a lot of times, unless it's like Blanca electricity. But yeah, I mean, I would either way, I'm gonna love this collection regardless. You know, I'm gonna play it regardless. You might say, oh, you're a you should boycott the game. Hell no. You know how long I've been waiting for these games to come back? You know how long I've been dying to play like CVS2 online again, like without input drops? You understand how long I've been waiting to play some Project Justice? You know, it's so hard to find Project Justice like matches. So the fact that I can go online, maybe possibly find some really good sweaty players that have been waiting like all this time to play Project Justice. Also Star Gladiator as well too. You know what I mean? Those games, Capcom Fighting Evolution, we don't talk about that. I will not touch that game. Maybe if you guys really beg me, maybe we'll try it out. Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper. I might try it out. I saw that there was an option on Jam Croft's video where you can enable crouch cancels, which is weird because I thought Alpha 3 Upper removed crouch cancels, but I guess you can add it back in the game. Maybe it's like an arcade setting where you just turn it off, turn it on. I just kind of like the artwork and the characters. I feel like the graphics and UI actually has improved in Alpha 3 Upper, so I might give that a shot. Capcom Fighting Evolution, no shot. You're done on that. Hearthstone 1, you know, maybe one stream. Hearthstone 2, only for you guys as the viewers. Maybe we get like a collab going with like a different other FGC content creators. Definitely CVS2, I would go back to standard for sure. If it's not, obviously we could do sweaty matches in lobbies and whatever. But if it was EO version standard, I would probably play a lot of P-Groove just because of the super cancels. I think they're pretty neat in general. Like, you know, I'll still play regardless. I think somebody said the only sweaty player that will play CVS2 EO version standard rank would be me. Think about this. This game came out in 2001, and this game literally survived. And it wasn't the EO version standard that kept this game alive. It wasn't the casual players that kept this game alive, because, you know, you guys probably just watch it and you don't play it. The hardcore community kept this game alive. The people, and in tournaments, CEO always have CVS2 as one of the main games on the lineup. You understand that? They brought like Dreamcast, PS2s to play CVS2 at a major tournament, same as Texas Showdown and even Common Breaker sometimes, right? And obviously they have the Evil Side tournament, and people fly from around America and also from Japan to play in the CVS2 side tournament at Evo. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think? What is your stance in the CVS2 discourse? Do you care more on the hardcore players side, or do you just want to just play EO versus standard? Because there's not much pushback besides that one guy that talked about EOs getting gate kept, which is kind of a weird word to use in the first place. But you know what? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you like these type of videos where we're discussing this type of stuff. It was pretty fun to talk about, because I would say for me at least, this is like a super important topic, because this is one of my greatest games of all time, and I would want to play it. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video, man. Thanks for watching the whole video. Appreciate all the support. I also have a Patreon, and we're just doing a lot of cool stuff on there, giveaways, getting people better. So if you guys want that, link is down below in the description. And also big shout outs to everybody that has subscribed to the Patreon. All the names are literally just coming out right here. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.